The stream? Why else would I press the button? Jeez Louise. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I said this the other day and it was super corny. I mean, ridiculously corny. But I left it. I don't know why. But it was something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, traders of all flavors. Right? That's terrible. I don't... I don't know if I should ever repeat that. In fact, I should probably delete this once I'm done with it. But, in any event... Alright, so I tried a few things. So, if you've seen some of these videos, or if you're with me live, you know of the disasters, right? I don't hide those from anybody. But I'm trying something different tonight. So... You know, I'm real hopeful. Fingers, toes, everything's crossed. So we'll see. We will see. You're the man with the master plan. Hey, but whoa, Terra Typhoon. I know that guy. Yo, what's happening? Can I call you by your handle? How I know you? We'll just keep it as Typhoon. How'd that be? All right, so we are here. Thank you for joining me. That's really sweet. Hopefully, this setup is a little bit better. We're going to find out. But we are 15 minutes from the daily close. Let's scope out a few things real quick. So on the 15-minute chart, we we had this candle, and it was pretty intense. So it was a $78 move, almost a $79 move. It ended up only moving 0.43% when all was said and done. And, you know, in relation to the whole chart, you know, really not that big a deal. But for the price action that we were having, it was a big deal. We ended up dragging it all down, almost went all the way back down to the bottom. But the volume that did come up during that 15-minute candle was, it was magical at the time. So we did hit a couple key marks here, and we did hit 36. We were just at 36.10, creeped up into 36.14 before dropping all the way down to 35.46. So that's where you get the $79 move from. We could probably get rid of this for now. So that's what we're looking at. Back on the daily chart, you know, we're still in this pattern here, which could be looked at a few different ways. So it could be a falling wedge, you know, falling wedge, right? So you have your bottoms, 2 touches. Typically, you would want to be coming from the first candle here, which means you'd have to cut through this candle in order to get that. I'll just show you real quick. It would be more like that. So not the prettiest. You know, obviously we're lobbing off some price action here in order to get that. And then the top side would be very similar. You'd be coming off this top here and then trying to find the first one. So at that point, if you were to draw it like that, right, we already broke through. So it's one way to look at it. What I did was I threw up just a very simple falling wedge, the way I have it set out here, but it's also very similar to a bull flag, right? So you got the pull, right, and then coming down with the angles would give you relatively close to a bull flag because it's not compressing as much as you would like for a falling wedge. You know, typically you'd have like a channel, you know, to make like a real good, what do you call it? Flag, right? You like to have a channel. And then if it was a pennant, it would be, you know, it would be more like this, where you'd have your, you know, something like that. Okay, so we don't have a pennant, we know that, and it does act as a falling wedge, and it does also sort of act as a bull flag. So we shall see, right? This is everybody sort of watching this right here. We're at 12 minutes. This is a, you know, it's a doji nonetheless because it's 0.1% difference. That's how I calculate dojis. Usually less than 2%. In a swing on the body size, right? So does have a long wick, long upper wick, where we traded past yesterday's open and closed the whole body, but we weren't able to keep it. So the bulls lost on that one. and pushed it down a little bit to almost to yesterday's low. But again, the bulls came this time and they were able to push it back up. So, few things to look at right there. Let's see, what do we got? You can say whatever you want, buddy. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna call you Equinox. That's how it is. That's what I'm talking about. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Oh, yeah, of course. Wait, there we go. All right. So another thing while we have, let's see, 11 minutes. So I want to take a look at a few things that are moving today. Let's take a look at the price action scanner and get a better idea. Let me slide that mic over a little bit. Okay. So peak gains, we're going to go 24 hours, so daily, and we're going to take a look at what do we got here. So ONT making some moves on the shorter time frames, 5 minute up to an hour in strong bullish, where we have the 4 and the 6 are in sideways with bullish tone. Now the 12 and the daily starting to turn, right? We're starting to lose those or we're gaining those. So if we're going dark green to light pink, this is telling me we're trying to get into an uptrend, trying to convert these guys into light green in order to get those bullish. So let's take a look. We got a 21% move up, not much to the downside. We've lost 4% of that 21% move. So ONT BTC, let's take a look. Yeah, that's a candle. That's a big old candle right there. All right, so obviously all of that came in the 1 day period. Let's see what we have as far as trend is concerned. Overall, this is a nice ranged area. So I like this. I like this a lot, right? Let's get a better feel for what's going on with some old school support resistance. I'm going to slap something up here. I'm going to say, all right, that's cool. We're looking at that right now. Take a look at that. That's amazing. We got a good impulse move up, sort of like a double top. So the all-time high on this thing, at least as far as the Bitcoin pairing, happened in June. What do we got? Listing was March. Okay, so a little late to the game on that. That's fine. As far as trends are concerned, obvious downtrend. We don't have to talk about that too much. I want to throw something on here, get an idea. Yep. Got a lot of resistance in that zone here. Resistance. So we got 1, 2, confirmation, resistance down, push, came back up again to find more resistance, and then broke through it sideways. So an unfashionable breakthrough. I like to see something. If you're going to break through on a long trend like that, I like to see some kind of violence. I mean, it was a big candle, 12% up, but we gave it all back, and then we swung back. So you made that little sandwich move in here with the bearish, right? And then nothing happened. So I would look at something like that and say, we have a bit of a range here. I'm going to do this and something like that. And you know what? I didn't shade them in before, but it might be a little hard to see on the screen. So we'll do that. How would that be? Can everybody see that? Everybody see it? Brandon, happy Friday. Yes, you too. I was going to play a little Rebecca Black, but I'm not sure how that, I think with the copyright, that's kind of an inside joke anyway with Rebecca. Anyway, I want to look at this. Okay, so RSI on the daily, we're showing 73. So if you play the 80-20, you're straight, right? You play 70-30, you're starting to take a look at that. But this is a great move right here. So, with just a range that I threw in here, and just based off of visually speaking, it came out a little bit, came back in. This is our averaged ranged area, according to me. I mean, there's no science behind that, just a visual look. It dipped down a little bit, came back up, and then you can see just on that bottom line, support, resistance, almost hit resistance, support, failed, flip, and then back to support, and then a big push. So a big move like this out of range is real nice. So I'd be looking for, what is this guy going to do next? What are we looking at here? Now, this was another good move. So this is a good indication of previous action, right? The way this particular coin has reacted to a larger move, right? This was back in December 17th. That's actually Bitcoin's all-time high. Failure date. That is the beginning of our year plus downtrend, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. And let's see, so 14, 16. So this was a huge move right here. This is another, 30% move. Now, on the 30% move, it looks like we tapped down at the 618. So you were able to get filled in here at the 618, and then a big push up. So you got the full retrace back up, and then made another new high, and then we failed at that point for another retrace down, bled it all the way past the 618, hit the 70, hit the 786. All right. Came back up, flipped back and forth for the 618, another good push, and then failure, right? So from there was failure. So knowing that, and I'm not going to base every trade decision off of that, but this particular coin doesn't have a ton of historical data like that. We could go to this one here, and again, just get an idea. Relatively speaking, we had a big push up. The retrace, now this retrace was only the 382. Push back up, failed to make a new high. So right there, that would have been our trend line anyway. That's our failure rate, or our failure line. And then we came back down. We tapped down on the 618. We found support, but we lost everything, right? Back to the 382, a little bit of ping pong, overall failure. So it's not like, we're gonna take a look at this move and everything's gonna be honky dory. That's just not the way it works. But I'm gonna look at something like this. Now we don't know if the move is over yet. It hasn't exactly started to retrace, but let's just say we were in a zone like this. Now, what I'm looking for when I come back over here now, right, first I'm going to put this on my watch list, right? So it's as a ton of volume, 4,200 Bitcoins being traded, 339 million market cap, so it's not like, one of those super duper crap coins. It's worthy of trading. This move here, only down 3.87, is not much, right? So we're starting to make a trend here. So I'm going to add this to my watch list. Come on. Wait. Whoop. Stop it. There you go. All right. So now that's on my watch list, I'm going to start looking for the 5 and the 15 to start coming back. I want these to start going light pink, dark pink, and this will give me the idea of a pullback. If they do start pulling back, then obviously I come back on the chart. Then I'll calculate the high. This is just the guesstimate high for now because that's where we wicked out. I'd actually like to see us get up to 1930 because this is previous support resistance coming down from this leg here. Now that's not exact. It's a bit of a range. Let's go right to the body. Okay. So we'll call that 1959. All right. I would really like to see that. That would be great. And then a retrace from there just adds a little bit more confluence into the trade that, okay, yes, we hit our head. We found a ceiling. That's fine. Healthy pullback and then break through it. Flip it and then come back and retest it. So this is something to keep an eye on for now. This isn't a scalp. This is more of a swing. We're on a daily chart. So take that with a grain of salt. Let's scope out our big old brother over here, Bitcoin, because, it's the daily, right? And it's Friday. Oh, we got some more people here. Saint, hey, sir. Hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much. XOM broke out a descending triangle and retested. That's what I'm talking about. Just in the studio, buddy, nonstop grind. As you know, Typhoon. For anybody who doesn't know, check that dude out. Typhoon, you got a YouTube channel yet? If you do, put that link up. Okay, so, oh man, what do we got? 2 minutes? You're gonna force me, Saint. You're gonna force me. That's all right. XLM BTC. Let's scope it out. Boom. Okay, so I still have a large old school trend here, right? It's not the prettiest looking line. However, that was the line I was looking at on top of just this little channel that we created. So for me, we haven't closed above it yet. That's this is what I'm looking at. All right. So yeah, penetration over, right? But not a close above. I want to, you know me, man. I want to see a close above it, right? Even maybe a day or two of trading, come back, retest, and then I want to get out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying? I want this thing at least back up to this resistance. I would feel a lot better about that. And then, you know, so the fib that's on here now, this was the calculation off of this move. What do we got? We got a 1 minute to the candle. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to show you what I mean about this and see how the 2618 is finding support. I'm gonna show you something pretty, well, whatever. I'm just gonna show you something. Okay. 15 minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 15-minute candles have printed bullish. The last one's about to paint right now. I don't know where my little countdown went. That's disturbing. There it is. All right, so we got 10 seconds. I know, everybody hold on to your hats. Let's see what happens. Oh, man, that coffee's so good. All right, there you have it. Slightly uneventful. No, so now we have it, right? 5-minute chart ended up bullish on the 15. From what we've lost on that big move, we were able to gain back maybe, I don't know, 25% of it. Not much, right? So from that low, and we're back up here. So let's see what that move is. I'm going to imagine it's not going to be too much. And this is our current trading. So yeah, not even 1%, right? 28 bucks. All right, nothing crazy there. So what do we have to look forward to? Well, on the 15, we're showing support on the whole, both the 50 and the 80. So that's good. 5-minute quick scalp chart is just showing still in an uptrend, right? So you got a tiny little uptrend coming up here. Yeah, that big drop down according to 5 minutes, right? But still not bad nonetheless. And still trending up. Volume is, you know, what we would expect. It's not good. Volume's not good. Let me put up a 4-hour and take a look. Yeah, so, you know, lot of these wicks, man. The hunting for stops in a range is really blowing my mind. You know, we noticed since we hit that large candle right on the daily, we had the big massive candle up. Yeah, we all remember that. And then we've been trickling down and down and down and down and down and down and down. And we've seen this before. You know, the sideways BART, where next thing you know, after like a week, you're right back to where you started. And then you either have a large push back up to right where you were or continuation down. And we've seen both things happen with Bitcoin in the last 3 months. So, you know, it's really, I hate to say it like this, but it's really anybody's guess. Just don't know which way it's going to go. So for a lot of people, it's a no trade zone. For other people, they're stuck in a trade, right? So, you know, you can't do much in the range. Either they bought way down here going long, or they bought way up here and they thought either continuation or they're going short and they don't want to pull their profits yet. So some people are just stuck and we have to deal with it, right? So hopefully we get some volatility this weekend. We can always get some volatility tonight. We'll see. So far, just not much. I mean, this volume is terrible. Okay, back to XLM. Dude, you should come to my Dallas show, 15th. What? Yeah, that sounds good. Just post to my SoundCloud. Awesome. Yes, cool. Yeah, hell yeah. Let me know more about that. I do want to know. Okay, so this big move, right? Let's look at XLM because XLM is an interesting project nonetheless. All right, so you could have done this a couple different ways, right? You had a peak, a peak, a peak, a peak, a peak, right? So you had a higher high, a lower high, a lower high. At the same time, you were making a higher low and a higher low. So you were squeezing, right? This whole thing is, you know, for lack of better terms, it's just a big one of these, you know, not much happening here, Right, so you got boom, 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 boom. And then this right here messes everything up, right? It actually breaks out, but fails, retest, comes back down lower. And now we're kind of in a new trend, so to speak. So now you have to do something like this. And you can play breakouts on something like this where you would have your lows, you know, giving you some type of reading, right? Where your highs are just barely doing anything. And that's this right here. Just barely doing anything. But that's going to draw yourself a little bit of a channel, so to speak, right? So you have kind of something like that. You know, we'll tighten that up a little bit. Okay? So now you have a bit of a channel here, right? So is it a wedge? Yeah. Technically, it's a wedge. Okay? A rising wedge. But you came down, you got 1, 2, 3, 3 touches, verification, you're good. 1, 2, 3, 3 touches, verification, you're good. And it broke down right here and never came back for a retest. So either this is, you know, off, and it could be something like that, and that would make a little bit more sense, or it's fine. You know, it's just trading. You don't know if it's going to retest or not. All right, we expect it, but certainly doesn't mean it's going to happen. But so this is what got my attention. Right, we broke through. So we finally broke trend, right, so to speak. So you got a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and a higher low. So this is your trend. You're in an uptrend, right? Broke it, smashed through it. We'll call it a retest, a slight retest. Found support, right? Found support right here, right here. Right here. This is all repeatable, guys. Right here, right here, right here. And nothing. All right, so that support spot is something that we just want to look at, you know, real quick. I want to say, okay, found support on that line. Now, what if we were to take a fit? Let me get this out of here. All right, so what if we wanted to take a look at if we could short this, right? What if we wanted to say, hey, you know, let me see what we're looking at. So if we get a pullback, I want to see what we're looking at here. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to drop this on all haphazardly. I'm going to say what kind of pullback we got. I would be looking at something like at least a 382, right? Get some type of pullback over here, a retrace, and then further south. Well, we didn't get that. We got a 236, you know, just barely a bounce. Now we had an impulse move down here as well. And then we had another one here and a little bit of a retrace, come down again and another retrace. But this is the longer move, right? This guy is the longer move, right? So that's what I wanted to look at. So I said, okay, no problem. I'm going to take a look at this. Now I'm going to take my, my fibs. Now I want to get some targets, right, for the low side. So I'm going to say, okay, let me do this. Let me swing that. That would have been the trade, right? So I'm going to put that back over here. And now I'm going to get an idea what we're doing on the way down. So now, if I'm looking to short it, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, right after that big move and only a 236 retrace, we have targets now. Right, our targets would be 1 for the full retrace, which we hit. Came back up, did a little bit of a bounce at the 786, ended up dropping. Right, we found a little bit of support, at least that day, on that old horizontal, which is also around the 168. 168 breaks violently, and what do? We work our way down, and where do we stop? 2618. All right, so cool stuff. So now what do we say? Well, we look at a couple other indicators here, right? We want to get an idea of price action, right? What are we doing? How are the candles moving? How quickly are they moving? You know, what kind of volume do we have here? Why don't we have volume here? It's just weird. Let's yeah, there we go. Let's turn that on. Okay, so we got volume in. All right, so now we're saying, all right, this is pretty good volume, above average. Tweaked down a little bit here when we went sideways. Not much interest. Built back up again while we were coming down. Ended up pushing a little bit. Made another drop, and that's when we first hit our 2618 target, right? And then bang. So now, I want this. So just like you were saying, Saint, I want this out. I want. Here, I'll draw. I'll draw what I want, and then let's let's see if we can make it happen. Let me get my brush over here. All right, so I want to see this. I want to see it come up. Okay, make a nice move. Maybe do a little market structure, like here. Swing it down here, right? But now I'm focused more on the trend retest and not the 2618 retest. Okay, and then I want to see this at least. Okay, I want to see the reaction right here. All right, then I could start taking a look at this for longs. All right, if volume is behaving right now, RSI is whoa, that was the wrong move. Right now, RSI is on our side for sure. It's in a pretty good zone down below. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about this. Let's get all this junk out of here. Let's pull up that RSI real quick. We'll take a better look. Because I can see we're cruising now around, what, 31 on the daily. So that's something to look at. All right, so RSI, swinging down from the big move down. Right, we got, oh, a little double topping, nothing crazy there. Okay, as far as our lows are concerned, we swung down, we got a low. This is not a swing failure, right? This is correct, right? We had the low, and then we made a lower low, and now we made another lower low. So this is, you know, that's giving us a trend. It's giving us a bit of a target. So swinging back up and crossing over that 30, then we got a better idea of at least RSI being on our side. So one set of confluence markers that'll help us get out of this ballpark. And when we're out of here, which, you know, just based off of daily candles, right, we're trading on top of it right now. So that's what I want to see. We get that, and we get a good push up. You know, I'd be looking for something like 20%. So I'm saying from the 2618 up. Okay, 20% is right here. So get anywhere within this zone. Again, I would like to hit the 1618 or this horizontal, and that's a 25% move. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Now, in the meantime, right, we don't have to go all the way up and then come all the way back down here. We could just do a small little test. That's fine. But I'm looking to get up into that ballpark before I start making any major moves here. But this is looking better than it has in the past. So that's good. If anybody has a chart or something, so, you know, we did the daily close. That's cool. I'm going to throw up a couple more charts, and then I'm going to wrap that up for now. I mean, I'll be back on later tonight. But if anybody has some charts they want to look at or whatever the case may be, just throw it in the chat, and then we'll take care of it because, you know, why not? We're just one big happy family here. I want to swing back over here real quick, and I got to pull this up. So don't worry about the audio. I'm here. I'm doing something over there real quick like. There we go. That's good. That's good. Okay. Cool. Cool. And cool. DGB. DGB BTC and Trex. Is that right? DGB, BTC, you want Trex. Oh, there's Trex. Digibyte. Oh, I've already played around with this guy. Yeah. Yeah, right. The infamous Mega Triangle. All right. Well, I mean, we're still in this triangle. What else we got here? Volume is atrocious. That we already know. On the smaller scale, let's see what we got. We're starting to range out, and I do like that. Okay. Found some support here. All right, so it's just a accumulation zone, accumulation zone, accumulation zone. Broke out of the zone, right, and started to hang around this, 247 level, which is derived from where? Okay, yeah. So market structure, right? Okay, that's fine. All right, so that's our level that we're looking at right there. We could do, you know, something a little bit more immediate as far as trends are concerned. Let's say we came up something like this. Just see what we have here. Put that magnet back on. There we go. All right, so let's see if we got our second hit. I'm going to go body on this one. Cut through, cut through. This is all smashed through, so we might have to go a little higher. It doesn't really work too well for that, but I think we all get the idea. Clearly a downtrend. Nice V bottom. Tried to do a bit of an Adam and Eve here. Didn't quite make it, right? So the Adam and Eve would have been this, followed by this, and this, but that would have came back down here. So you would have more of a bit of a double bottom. This, not much of a retrace. Then you would have been looking at a handle and then off. So that didn't happen. So this whole pattern failed. Again, we're still just in that triangle. We're just in now another triangle of a larger triangle. So if we did this and said, all right, well, we come down here and this is sort of what we're looking at, then yeah, right about there. So kind of a wedge, kind of a descending. Technically speaking, it would be, well, there you go. Well, that's better. Okay, so there you go. Descending triangle. Yes. Technically, it's got a bit of a slope, but let's take it easy. You know what I mean? Actually, I'd like to bring that up a little bit to incorporate this a little bit better, but this is okay. So wedge inside of a big giant wedge. So you got mama wedge, you got daddy wedge, everybody's all wedged out. Happy times. Not much shaking here. Again, this is similar to what the hell were we looking at last night? I don't remember. But this is similar to looking at making, you know, new local lows, ranging out, finding an area of good accumulation, and then waiting for like a pop out of there, waiting for like a big move to get us out of this garbage area. You know what I mean? So, you know, draw yourself a range that makes sense, where a majority of the trading is, where you get a little bit of ping pong action. You can actually bring this up a little bit, you know, so this way, you know, you self-alert yourself. You come up out of this zone, right? Then you can start paying attention. And I get it, you know, you don't want to miss out on a trade, but let's be real. You know, you get out of this zone right here, and it's a 15% move, all right? There's no problem. There's growth. There's growth, right? Just to get back to the top of the wedge, 248%, all right? So you could give away 15 to feel more confident about a trade, or at least I can. But that's just me. That's my style. If I got too aggressive with it, then it could easily just continue to make more lows. Let's not fool ourselves. This is a downtrend. You know, there's nothing bullish about this at the present moment. Volume is not good. RSI is just chilling. Price action's just showing accumulation. So, you know, without having anything to really go by on the bullish side of things, then that's what I do. I'll check it out. I'll look at it, and I'll say, all right, well, I'll put that on my list of things to revisit. If and when we get out of this range, then I'll have something to look at. All right. 200 EMA right below. Oh, 200 EMA. Yeah, let's throw that on. I guess, is it not on this chart? I guess not. Let me see what we got here. 200 over EMA. No, let's go use EMA. Right. Blue, orange. So this is how I do it. Blue, orange, green, brown, slate, white, red, yellow. So blue, orange, green, brown, slate, white. So we're looking at white. Right now we're on EMA. So what do we got here? Get this out of here. White. You know, white is White's far away, Saint. White's way up here. 317. But that being said, all right, you do have blue, orange, green are sitting right here. So 8, 13, 21 are all showing current local resistance. And that's what's knocking down these candles here, printing these wicks. Let's see. That's Ja. I'm sorry, I thought that was Saint. Ja, what's up, man? 200 EMA right below that price action on the weekly, of course. If only I read one more word. I'm waiting on that touch of the 200 EMA to see how price reacts. My concern is that zone has been touched previously the past 3 times. Okay, 200 EMA won't hold and fall another 30-50%. Are you talking about on DGB? Let me throw that weekly chart up. Let me throw up that weekly. Okay, so here you go. Okay. But you're saying we've been using it, right? We haven't used it yet. Not enough, historical data to bring up anything more than this. You sure it wasn't SMA? What do you got here? Yes. Maybe you answered that before I asked. Let's put the other guy on and see what we got here. Let's put the simple. It's about the same. Not going to see much difference on a 200, but I mean we're under it, so we have support. That's important. I don't see that we've touched it yet. What do you see? Weekly 200 EMA. All right, well we'll put the EMA back on, but yeah, we're not getting it. So we'll go over this one more time, right? Blue, orange, green, brown, slate, white. I don't have the 5 or the 7 on, but it would be red and yellow. All right, so the last guy is white, and that's our 200. That's this guy right here. Okay. So yeah, I'm showing 200 right here. We haven't touched it yet. You're still we're still okay. We're still okay. All right, now the slate, right? That's our 100-day. Our 100 has well, had a little bit of resistance here, lost support, came back, found support, came back, found support, and lost it right here. And now it's just getting further and further and further away. So, but that's your 100, but this is your 200. Weekly 200, yeah. And I'm on the weekly Digibite weekly Trex. So yeah, I don't know I'm not sure what you're seeing, but so far we're straight. If you still need support on that 200 EMA, you are good to go as far as this chart is telling me. Right? Right. Excellent. Let's pull up one more chart. Let's see what other kind of movers we have. So we're Friday. Why don't we see what kind of mover we had in the last 3 days? Let's just take a quick peek. If something looks good, we'll pull the chart up. If not, then, well, we're going to pull the chart up, so don't worry about it. Here we go. What do we got? 44 up, 4.3 down, not interested. App, BTC, 37 up, 26 down. Okay. So we have movement on the 4, 6, and 12. Sideways, slightly bearish on the daily with a possible pullback on the 5. It's worth looking at, but it's super low cap, 7 million. Well, we'll take a look. APPC, BTC. I think we looked at this last night. Let's take a look. No, I guess we didn't. I didn't leave any happy charts up, so I guess we're good on that. Let's throw the daily up. All right. So, on the daily side of things, yeah, 29%. This is, all right. This is worth looking at. Now, again, I'm not a huge fan of super low cap coins, so I like to go back in the chart and just see how they reacted in the past. You get these big pump and dumps, then, I might not be interested, but I don't see too many major wicks. This is relatively decent trading. Nothing completely out of the norm here. Nothing alarming. Okay, so yeah. So now that I feel better about that, So right off the bat, let's throw a little bit of, what do we have as far as historical data? Nothing. Okay. So right off the bat, let's throw some support lines here. We top down here. That's support, 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 support. That's good. And we can see our range is actually fairly low here. Let's see. Something like this is going to be range. All right. So this is exactly what I was talking about just before. Breaking out of range and pulling back. So this one has already started pulling back. So this is good right here. This is real good. So we could do two things here. We could come from this bottom for this particular move, or we could try to take the bottom from the whole move. A lot of sideways action, so I want to see how different they are. Traditionally, you would go from the bottom. So let's just see what tradition says. And we are currently coming down to the 236. Haven't hit the 382 yet. And then if I were to just do the move itself, what are we looking at? On the 236. Okay, so not much difference. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do the whole move. All right. Yeah, this is cool. All right, so here's what I'm looking at. For the move itself, right? This is a pretty sizable area for the whole thing. Let's say just from the last week, what are we at here? For the move, give or take, 62% coming back, you know, from these lows, that swing low right there. So 62%. All right, we've already given back, you know, we came back to 23, so 236 we hit, but we're still continuing down. Volume's down. RSI is not that. RSI is nice. RSI is in our favor. So we can see that we've crossed over. We breached 70, trading up to 84. Started working its way down, and we can see all of that in the price action right here. So that's good. So you'd be looking at a pullback scenario. All right, now previous market structure. All right, a pullback to the 382 would retest this high. I would be looking at something closer to more body and less wick. This is an area of interest for me right here. This ends up falling right between the 5 and a 618, which is also just about the sideways area here before continuation. So I would be looking at, if I really wanted to get in, I might front run 382 a little, and then orders down to the 618, and that would be my green box for my orders, like so. All right, and then targets, well, targets we could do a few things, but you know, we could try for the one up top here. All right, it looks dramatic, right? It's pretty far away, but overall, you know, if I were to flip these, it's not going to be much different, right? So if we're over here, and let's say we had this and this, and we were coming from the bottom of the move, still 1618, 2618, right? 3618, 423. So, you know, it looks aggressive, but it's not like we haven't been to these levels before. So if it does move, and it moves in the way that we would like, and we have a couple things going on our side, then this is a possibility for something that's not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. So I'm going to leave that up there for there. I'm going to come back to this later, and in fact, I'll do that personally for myself, and then I will do that so that I can come back to it and check the progress of it. All right. Let's see. Jaha. 244 sats horizontal area zone has been touched. Okay, not the 200 EMA. All right, just a horizontal. Support has been touched previously too often, waiting to see if it breaks price zone. Ja, very cool, man. Thank you for clearing that up because I was getting a little confused. All right, but that's it. We're going to wrap that up for now. I'll be back on some point later tonight. Not sure when. Got a few things to do, and who knows? Could be in the midnight zone, but we'll play it by ear. When it happens, you get notified, and hopefully we'll get together and go over some more charts and stuff. All right. Until then, I will see you on the exchanges, and happy trading.